that you are frightening Ghanaians and that you should stop and start fixing the problems, that your communication is not helpful. How do you respond to that?
Contrary, the minority is engaged in panic and frightening Ghanaians. First of all, we never even called the press to speak to them. It's Parliament that invited the ministry. So let me debunk this idea that we are trying to cause fear and panic. No. It was a parliamentary session that invited us and wanted some explanation. One, statistics on the energy sector. Two, challenges. And three, what we are doing to address the challenges. So what, as minister, I did was to provide them with the statistics. For instance, we have fuel of 2 days, 6 hours of LCO. And I also added that we've ordered fuel, and that we're receiving that fuel to replenish the stock that we have. So where is that fear? I mean, where is the fear? If I had said we have 2 days, 6 hours, and that we had no fuel in stock or arriving, then you say that, look, when the 2 days run out, we're going to have a problem. But if you have fuel arriving, and as I speak, I just got confirmation that the vessel is gotten into Ghana's waters. Where is the issue again? So there was, in fact, we didn't even have to get to this level. There's no need, there's no debate, there's no argument. We have not said that we can't provide power. We've not said that we don't have fuel. We said we have fuel. The fuel is every 2 days, 6 hours. We've ordered additional fuel. We take delivery of the additional fuel to replenish what we have. I don't see the debate.
I see. So the comments that they are referring to, you said you made it before the committee. And what you're doing was to provide the committee with updates.
Exactly. Exactly. And it was a committee, the energy committee, that I was briefing. But for some reason, when I was briefing them, they allowed some people to capture it, some pressmen. But even with that, what we put out is a fact. If we had said that, look, we're going to have major power crisis, or that we don't have fuel, then that's a different matter.
So currently, as we speak, we have enough fuel to generate power to supply to Ghanaians.
Absolutely.
Are we meeting the demands?
Yes. So based on the record I have today, as of yesterday, there was no load shedding. The day before yesterday, no load shedding. The day before, no load shedding. I also did indicate to them that a lot of the plants that were due for maintenance, they decided that the plants should not go for those maintenance schedules for election reasons. But if we don't maintain the plants, we risk getting the plants collapsed. So I've allowed that the maintenance schedule should go on. But what it means is that we are producing enough just to meet demand, and we don't have the spare capacity. So when we finish with these maintenance works, a lot of which will come in the first week of June, then we'll have enough redundancy. With enough redundancy, even if one plant goes off, we'll be okay. But what it means is that now we are very tight, but we are not shedding load. And so if you ask me to publish a load shedding timetable, how do you plan and publish for unexpected outages? To say that, for instance, this evening, Radio Gold will go off, when I'm not convinced that there will be a deficit this evening. That's all.
But there are 3 colleagues of yours being reported on by the Hawk newspaper this morning. They are even on your on the majority side of Parliament. Albert Tetenyakote, who is MP for Ilo Krobo, Yao Gomado, who is MP for Akan constituency, and Richard Kwame Sepe, who is MP for Angolo constituency, were raising concerns about persistent power outages in their constituency and the effects they are having. To these colleagues of yours, how do you respond to the challenges that their constituents are facing that they've had to speak to publicly?
They are completely right, except that what they said is that the frequency is not stable. That's what they said. And I was with them. I even explained to them, if you take Volta region, and that is the only region with that kind of line, all our transmission lines are 330 or 161. But the Volta region line, which takes from Asiakwe through Ho to Kando to Kajebi to Ketekrachi and Kwanta, Pandai, and Bimbila, the line is a 69 kVA line. So it's very limited. So when demand goes up, you see the kind of frequencies they are talking about. And that's what we inherited. So it cannot be President Mohammed's fault, and it cannot be the NDC's fault. And they were saying that we should work on it. That's what they were asking for. That the problem we inherited, they are appealing to government to resolve it. I provided them with the roadmap and the committee on what we are doing to resolve that challenge, and even gave them timelines. So I don't know how they presented it as our MPs. And I don't know how the media reported them. But this is the reality on the ground.
I see. How are you solving these problems, especially the lines you're talking about? Just to conclude.
Yes, I've sent a proposal to the Minister of Finance. We're going to Cabinet to seek approval. We've just approved the PPA board. If you remember, it's yesterday the minister swore in the Public Procurement Authority board. We need to go to Public Procurement Authority and seek approval. The minister cannot just award a contract unilaterally. You have to go through due process. For 8 years, this problem persisted in Volta region. 8 years. We've just come to power. I've done like almost 4 months. We want to fix the challenge. And then, I don't know how the MPs presented it though. It's made to look as if President Mama came and all of a sudden, the lines are getting weak. That's not true.
I think their focus was not on the lines, because they were talking about the power outages and how it was affecting
because
their
the lines are weak. When demand increases, it will trip and there will be an outage. And they also say that sometimes too, the voltages go low. And you can check from Volta region.
Yes.
You can open your line.
Yes. My colleague has been complaining about it in her own, where she comes from. Well, Honorable, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful.
Yeah, that's the Honorable Minister for Energy, explaining some of the reasons why you are seeing the outages you're seeing in some of the areas, and also responding to the panic then retreats comments that tag that has been put on him by the minority. He explains that the circumstance in which he said the 2.6 days is that it was before the Committee of Energy was providing details, available statistics as at the time it was before the committee. And he says, he explains why you are also having the power outages. I'm sure you listened to him. What do you think, by the way? SM?
Minority, no. I said Dr. Cassie out of forcing a delay payment to independent power producers.
Okay.
Frank, I don't pray.
Okay.
Yeah, and some Dredgy MP, no. And I accuse you, Dr. Kesa Latoban forcing. Say, delay payment.
That missed my attention.
It's Siana, you know, honorable
so I've drawn my attention to it. Anyway, because there were many things said at that press conference. Many things said at that press conference. One of the biggest challenges, and he's admitted to it. I think when he went before the committee, he talks about owing the IPPs about $1 billion or more in terms of unpaid debts. So these are in terms of debts, money that they owe the IPP. So it's a serious issue when it comes to finance within the energy sector. But SM, do some business there. We'll make a few calls on to those of you who what do you think when it comes to matters of the energy sector? What is your own situation? Because I recall when Nancy came back from, I think, Vapo one point in time, she was telling us that when he, that place, sometimes that either the lights will go off consistently or most of the time it is very low current. The current is so low, you can't really use it for anything. So what's the situation where you are? Because we also have people who are listening to us from that enclave and many other places who are having difficulties with the power sector. We'll open the full lines for you shortly, so you join us and tell us your own experiences and your situation when it comes to the power issue. SM.
Yo, answer na baby ahomatro for the amam na fe nyinama hoden sem baby awo no de ne tse no watimi ene ache no me ni edwa we anase enyi we mfamfi ho na fe ekwan mu entimi emie emfa emamo empacho wani abre a wo pe real estate company ba ko jom di a obetimi atasase ewom ho ene memfo ani kire baby a look no further Hearts Builders Real Estate aba e de amount omo e litigation free lands with flexible payment plan. I'm say omo de akonya na to de amawa obetimi etua na nkakra bra wani abre pese oto asase no ensase so omo de be mouse so no nya de amansutwi bia e won sase no ho na cost per plot no 25,000 Ghana cedis Shah Hills obetimi nya bi ho afi 30,000 Ghana cedis Chopoli 20,000 Ghana cedis